p.m. Dubai time. Greetings, everyone. I hope you had a great day, but it gets even more exciting now because I am very proud to welcome you to the opportunity call about mining race. I'm very proud to be the one to present this opportunity to you because today we are talking about one of the most important things you can have right now. And the first one is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the central topic of what we're talking about today. And the second thing is mining race, which is your number one partner on this journey with Bitcoin. So without further ado, let's just get into it so everyone can see what we're talking about. First of all, just a small disclaimer, like it is in every professional presentation, right? All of what I'm sharing with you today is in no way financial advice. It is my personal experience, and we're presenting later in the presentation the products and the offers Mining Race has for you. Also, you can see a lot of my personal educational content in this presentation, which is not from NYGqx or Mining Race. It is done by me for you to understand Bitcoin a little bit better. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. Bitcoin is the thing we will be looking at today, and there's a few points that are necessary to be talked about. There is a lot more points we can talk about when it comes to Bitcoin, but there's a few that should be the most important. One of these things I want to talk about, you can see in the bottom left corner here, it is the limited supply of Bitcoin, which will become a very, very important topic later in this presentation. But also, Bitcoin has had a very interesting journey the past 16 years, because 16 years ago is when it was created. And around about 1 year after its creation, there's a special day that happened in the history of Bitcoin. And that day is called the Bitcoin Pizza Day. You can Google it, it's true. And it gets celebrated every year around the world by Bitcoin fans and, of course, pizza fans, right? And these people are celebrating the 22nd of May because a very special thing happened on that particular day. And that is that this gentleman here paid for pizza with Bitcoin. Of course, he did it in a third-party way by giving a friend 10,000 Bitcoin who agreed to order him pizza for around $41. So he ordered this pizza for himself and his children, and he paid 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizza. This is a very, very interesting day in the history of Bitcoin because it marks the first point in history of Bitcoin where Bitcoin actually has a measurable price. So in this scenario, where he paid $41 for pizza paid with 10,000 Bitcoin, that gives Bitcoin a price. And that price is around about $0.004. So which is less than 1 cent, right? Very interesting. I mean, I hope they had a great evening and delicious pizza because if you think about it retrospectively, these pizzas will be worth today over 1 billion US dollars. Crazy, right? But that should open your mind for the revolution that really is behind Bitcoin. And if you want to look at it from a different perspective, you can even see in these iPhone releases here. This is a nice thought experiment. So where you take the most new iPhone on the day it gets released and you pay for it in Bitcoin. So if you would have bought the newest iPhone in 2015 with Bitcoin, you would have paid 2.7 Bitcoin. So if you bought the newest iPhone this year, today, you would have paid 0.007 Bitcoin for it, which really should open your eyes for the growth and the potential that is behind Bitcoin and this, really deflationary currency we are looking at. And these and some other points are basically the points why people came to Bitcoin. And it is already around 7% of the world population that came in touch with Bitcoin. But don't get confused here, because it's actually far less people that really have and hold and handle Bitcoin. So we could split this number in half if we talk about who really owns Bitcoin on this planet right now. So let's say we have about 3.5% of the world's population inside of Bitcoin, which is two things at the same time. Not so much and a lot, right? It is only 3.5% of the world's population, but that is already a couple 100 million people. And they came to Bitcoin because Bitcoin solves problems. And that is really the worth of Bitcoin for me. Bitcoin is a currency that is created in a decentralized way, meaning it is created in the pockets of those who support the network through Bitcoin mining. This, what we're looking at, the blockchain technology and the Bitcoin blockchain, it has a proof of work mechanism, which means it needs real work done by computational power and energy behind it to solve the tasks the Bitcoin blockchain has has inside of it for its miners. And also the proof of work mechanism guarantees us that there's always a majority who is in control over the Bitcoin blockchain. So no single entity, no small group of people or company or government can rule over Bitcoin or the Bitcoin blockchain. It is a consensus mechanism which makes sure that the majority has the power over this technology, which is really power to the people technology, the Bitcoin blockchain. It is a peer-to-peer currency, which it means you can do your transaction without a middleman in between. So you don't need the permission of anybody to send your Bitcoin. And nobody can freeze or decline your Bitcoin withdrawals. Nobody can do that. You are the only one in control over your Bitcoin. And if you want to send them, you send them. And if you receive them, you got them. There's nobody that has control over this except for you. And by this mechanism, it is also that there is no chargebacks possible. Think about it, which is a very normal thing in the fiat money system. If you take a look at bank accounts, there's chargebacks, there's a subscription that auto-deduct money. All of this is it's not possible on the Bitcoin blockchain. I can send Bitcoin manually and I can receive them. That's it. And also this system is a lot faster than the traditional banking system, right? And if we already talk about the traditional banking system, of course, it has a lot of worth in this world today, and a lot of people working in this traditional finance system. But there's something I want to open your eyes for, and that is a quote from Michael Saylor. And he said, by the time your financial advisor says it's okay to buy Bitcoin, it'll cost $1 million. And when they say it's a good idea, it'll cost $10 million, which really is a way of communicating that people who work in the old financial system and who are really connected with the old financial system are maybe not the best advisors for a revolution inside of this system, right? And there's another quote I brought to you today from Eric Hoffer, who said, in times of change, learners inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists. And that is exactly what we're seeing right now. The adoption of Bitcoin is going turbo mode, really. You can now see a USA crypto reserve. That is something people would have loved about me if I told them this 6 years ago or something. Think about it. The President of the United States created a USA Bitcoin National Reserve for the country. Isn't that something crazy? And a lot more people, a lot more countries are following this path. We can see Bitcoin is already a legal tender in El Salvador. You can pay your taxes with it even. And there's international trades being done in Bitcoin. Companies invest in Bitcoin a lot. And there's more and more companies every day investing in Bitcoin. So the world really builds its interest in Bitcoin. They see what's happening with Bitcoin. And a lot of people are joining this journey. Of course, even the financial markets and investors are very curious about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin just beats the most popular assets every year. Every year you can see Bitcoin as a winner against these very traditional, very popular investments. And that brought Bitcoin even up to place 5 on the list of market caps of the world. This list is a very interesting list. You can find it by Googling all market caps or something like this. And you can see all companies, but also assets like gold and silver and Bitcoin on one list. Okay, so there you can really see what kind of money, what kind of worth is inside Bitcoin. And that is a lot more than some of the biggest companies you already know. And if people see this and I tell them about this, they usually ask me, so am I too late? And there's an easy answer to that. Yes, you are. You are indeed too late to buy Bitcoin for $10,000. I don't think we will see this price for Bitcoin ever again. But now the Bitcoin price is around $100,000, which sounded crazy to the people who bought it back then at $10,000. But back then, $10,000 sounded crazy for those who invested when Bitcoin was $1,000. And even when we came to the moment of $1,000, people said, that is really a lot for a digital coin, $1,000. Now look where we're at. And in my humble opinion, I think this is just the start of the journey. And there's a lot of indicators we can see this from. So take a look at this magical number, 21 million Bitcoin. That is the total supply of Bitcoin that can ever exist. There will never be one more Bitcoin than 21 million. That is the maximum, the total supply that will ever exist. And that is in the code of the Bitcoin blockchain. Nobody can change that. And from this 21 million Bitcoin, there's already 19.9 million in existence today. And all of these Bitcoin were mined. All of these Bitcoin were created through Bitcoin mining. So if you take a look at it, we got 95% of all Bitcoin that will ever exist already existing today. But now there's a remaining 5% that needs to be mined. And for this, we will take another 115 years. Really? Again, we took 16 years to create 95% of all Bitcoin. And we will take another 115 years to create the remaining 5%. How is that possible? Let me tell you. In the Bitcoin blockchain, every 10 minutes, a block is being mined. So every 10 minutes, there is a block reward, which is a certain amount of Bitcoin. If we go back to the beginning of the Bitcoin blockchain, we see in 2009, this was 50 Bitcoin per block. So every 10 minutes, 50 new Bitcoin are being created and are giving as a reward to one Bitcoin miner. But there's a very interesting mechanism inside of the Bitcoin blockchain called the Bitcoin halving. And the Bitcoin halving is a mechanism that halves the production of Bitcoin approximately every 4 years. So look at what happened. 2012, we got to 25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes, 12.5 every Bitcoin every 10 minutes in Bitcoin. You see 4 years later, another 4 years later, half of that, and another 4 years later. That's where we are today, 3.125 Bitcoin every 10 minutes in the Bitcoin blockchain. And we will continue to do so. 20, 28, 32, 36, we will see these halvings, and production will be cut in half by the halving mechanism. And every block rewards us this amount of Bitcoin. But historically speaking, we halve the amount of Bitcoin that is produced by a block. But during these halvings, Bitcoin price has, historically speaking, doubled, more than doubled every time. So what's happening now is every 10 minutes, there's a block creating 3.125 new Bitcoin. But only one miner out there can solve the block. So only one miner can get this reward. And because this chance is very low for your miner to be the one to hit this block, to really get the correct hash to get the new Bitcoin, this is why people thought of something very intelligent called mining pools. So mining pools are really a network where a lot of miners connect their power together. So the mining pool orchestrates a lot of mining power, and by that, it has a higher chance to really get a block, to find a correct hash. So the mining block really mines blocks more often than a single miner. So he gets Bitcoin rewards more often than a single miner. And these rewards are shared with the miners who are connected to the pool. Very intelligent, very fair, and in this way, I can convert my mining power to a stable income together with the pool. But now if you think about it, that's a perfect solution. I get myself a Bitcoin miner, and I connect it to the pool, and I mine Bitcoin. The next problem here is that the electricity cost will be too high for you to run a Bitcoin miner at home, because the reward you get will be lower than the electricity costs you have, especially if you are somewhere around Europe. But this is why most of the Bitcoin mining, actually over 90% of it, is done in so-called mining farms. Mining farms are places with a lot of these devices. And they have, of course, large orders where they buy these devices so they can have better prices for these devices, and they start their mining journey a lot more profitable from the beginning on. But then they put their mining farm in a location with better electricity costs. Now they can mine Bitcoin profitable. And so you get a picture how a mining farm would actually look like. This is something you can take a look at here. We have a very clean one, a very cable mess right here next to it. But that is not the point. These mining farms are really in every size you can imagine them. There's huge mining farms with hundreds of employees running around, connecting cables, blinking, and there's a lot of heat inside of these. So this is a very physical business. Yes? You have to understand that even if we talk about the digital technology, if we talk about this digital currency, it's a very physical business that creates these Bitcoin, which brings us back to the understanding of what proof of work really is. So there's real work, real hardware that does the work with real energy, real resources being needed for that behind it. And because you cannot get your hands on a mining farm in your own garden, that's where we introduce to you Mining Race. Mining Race, the fastest driven Bitcoin movement, really brings Bitcoin mining back into the hands of individual people. And it really is a journey together with Mining Race. It's a one-of-a-kind and also the first of its kind, a community mining ecosystem where we all mine Bitcoin together through some clicks in a very easy app. This company, Mining Race, is recognized as a leading tech startup in the UAE by the Dubai Chambers, and that is a huge achievement if you ask me. The team behind Mining Race has over 10,000 days of blockchain experience behind it. I personally know some of them myself, and these are just geniuses in the work they do. Let me tell you that. Also, our app is a one-of-a-kind platform built in-house, which means we really have the work even for the programming of the app and everything that is behind it in our own house. That really gives us a quality standard you will look for in other companies out there. But now we're talking about making Bitcoin mining easy. You already understood that you will need Bitcoin in the future, and we bring you the access to Bitcoin mining. But you may ask yourself, why? Why should I mine Bitcoin? I can buy Bitcoin, right? Yes, exactly. You can do that. But with buying Bitcoin, you are subject to market volatility, which means it's really a street in two directions. Market can go up, market can go down. In the long term, I will think everybody will be fine with Bitcoin investments. But on the other hand, short or midterm, you can be in unpredictable market situations. Also, you now want to use Bitcoin as a safe asset to store your money in, but also you don't involve yourself with the future of Bitcoin, and you don't do your part for the future and security of Bitcoin because you only buy the currency. With Bitcoin mining, that is really different because now you have a much better opportunity than buying because you have more returns with less risk, which really means if you create something, that is really a one direction street you have right here, right? Because if you got zero, you got zero. Then you got one, then you got two, then you got three. You are creating it. That is just one direction for you, being part of the creation process of Bitcoin itself, while you contribute to the decentralization of the Bitcoin network. So now you not only invest in Bitcoin with less risk, much more opportunity, one direction of your investment, but you also contribute to the security and future of the Bitcoin network, which is really something everybody investing in Bitcoin should do. And you can do it in this one-stop shop super app, or as I call it, set it and forget it. Well, basically, if you ask me, you should invest every day some of your time into Bitcoin and topics around Bitcoin. But if you want, you can set it and forget it because this app does everything for you that needs to be done. Once you really start your mining with Mining Race in the Mining Race app, everything that you need to be doing has been done. The mining is running for you, it's automated, it creates the profits for you inside of your own non-custodial wallet, and also we have the auto renew feature which takes care of renewing your mining power for you all the time. So really you can set it and forget it, got Bitcoin mining running for you, creating Bitcoin into your own non-custodial wallet. And the non-custodial wallet, it's really a special feature of this app. I think this should be the standard, but it is not if you look out there. This app has your own non-custodial standalone wallet inside of it, which means everything in your wallet, you only have the control about. Nobody else can control your funds. Just you. You will get your own seed phrase or secret string, as we call it here, which is exactly 12 words you write down. Please don't save your seed phrase in any way digitally. Please write it down with pen and paper and store it very secure. This is your access to your Bitcoin wallet, which is the security standard of all Bitcoin wallets out there. Seed phrase means access to your Bitcoin wallet. And you have your own non-custodial, standalone, multi-chain wallet even inside of the app, which only you with your seed phrase have control over. That is top-notch security for your Bitcoin and every transaction you do. Also, this app has a lot more features that makes the handling of Bitcoin and everything around it much more comfortable and more fun, to be honest. If you take a look at that, we have this thing called Transaction Center inside of the app. And that is nothing but 100% transparency. You will get the Transaction Center inside of the app that shows you every single cent that is being moved. Every order you did, it is in the Transaction Center. You can see it penny by penny. Every mining earnings you get every day, you can see in the last Satoshi. 0.0003 Bitcoin, exactly every Satoshi that is moved, that you earn, that you spend, that you send, everything is transparent inside of the Transaction Center. You can track all your incoming and outgoing fund transfers. But then we got the address book, which is really a comfortable way to send Bitcoin, but it's also a security feature because in our everyday lives, we have a lot of situations where maybe my friend pays for the dinner and I say, hey man, no, I wanted to pay. Let me send you these $50 in Bitcoin. So I send Bitcoin and I choose his name from my address book because I got his wallet address in my address book. And by this way, I cannot make a mistake sending it to him because I'm not entering his wallet address. I just pick his name, and also it's very comfortable. And there is no way I can send him money more fast than this. But even if I meet someone that I have never met, or if I want to transact Bitcoin as a payment online or something, I have the QR code scanner. So if I get a payment QR code, I can just scan it and I can send my Bitcoin without the possibility of making a mistake, because I scan the QR code, no mistakes can be made, no human error by me, because the QR code puts the correct address inside of it. That is a big feature for security and for it to be comfortable in my day-to-day life. But also with all of these, with this very nice app, very comfortable, very day-to-day app you can have now and start your Bitcoin mining, don't forget that this is a huge industry. That is really big tech we're talking about. It is just being made very easy for you to access with the Mining Race app, but that is a multi-billion-dollar industry behind it, which you are now part of. And probably your first step into being part of this multi-billion-dollar industry will be Bitcoin mining with the stable mining card. A one-of-a-kind product by Mining Race, which lets you start your Bitcoin mining for a very affordable amount of fiat money. So you buy yourself a stable mining card. Right here we can see $400 for the stable mining card. Let me tell you, right now you can get the stable mining card for $320 because this price is variable. It is based on actual market rates, on the hash price, on what's happening in the Bitcoin market. So it can go lower and it can go higher. So you get the stable mining card for, let's say, $400. But now something really interesting is happening. The stable mining card represents 100 terahash of Bitcoin mining power. And these 100 terahash Bitcoin mining power will run for you until you reach a fixed ROI, a fixed output that is set in stone the moment you buy the card. Let me explain. So you buy the stable mining card for $400. And in this moment, there is a goal put into the stable mining card, and that is 114% of what you paid for the stable mining card. And now your 100 terahash of Bitcoin mining will produce Bitcoin for you until you reach your 114% of what you paid for the stable mining card. You can see duration 90 days. That is just the average time in that it's happening. But really your stable mining card doesn't matter if the Bitcoin price goes up, if the Bitcoin price goes down. Your stable mining card is bringing you 114% of what you paid for the stable mining card, definitely. And that is something you really need to understand. That is a risk-free way to get your first steps into the Bitcoin mining market. Of course, all of this is with variables, right? What you earn per day is a variable. And you can earn Bitcoin because the Bitcoin blockchain is running. You participate in all of this big industry that is happening. But you're participating in a way where 114% are guaranteed to you. And that is so interesting because this 114%, it is also a mechanism on its own. It's being decided every quarter year. This percentage can go up, can go down. So we can leave the stable mining card in a 90-day frame. It's really a very flexible product for you to stay flexible, to stay free with your investment. But then maybe you ask yourself, okay, 90 days of Bitcoin mining, but I think Bitcoin mining and Bitcoin is something much more long-term than that. You may think about getting your hands on your own Bitcoin mining device. And as you can see right here in this picture, there's not a lot of information, right? And there's a reason for that, because this product is really so easy. That is a Bitcoin mining device, T21, the model is called, and you can get it for $4,200. That's a machine with 190 terahash of Bitcoin mining power. And when you pay this amount, this machine will run for you for 4 years, no matter what. It is automatic hosting, automatically managed hosting, which really is a very nice feature and a very new feature for this market if you think about it. Now you got 190 terahash of Bitcoin mining power producing Bitcoin for you. And then, of course, with every Bitcoin machine hosting on the market, you need to pay hosting and electricity. But now you don't have to care for it separately. You don't have to pay a bill every month or pay it manually. You just have to pay this $4,200 one time. The machine is running for you, and now you get your Bitcoin mining earnings every day. And the electricity and hosting cost, it is just being deducted from your earnings every day, and you get inside of your mining credits your net profit. It cannot get more easy. So that is just 4 years of net profit every day without having to click one more button. That is really a one-of-a-kind Bitcoin mining solution, I tell you. But that's not even all. We have another one-of-a-kind Bitcoin mining solution, and that is the most affordable way to get into Bitcoin mining on this planet. This is the mining core. The mining core represents 1 terahash of Bitcoin mining power, and it will be running for you for 1 year. And all of this for $25. But the mining core is really a power package that offers a lot more than that, because the Bitcoin mining core, it is running for 1 year with 1 terahash, but also this core will now participate in the so-called core races. And the core races are very interesting because every day we have 144 blocks happening on the Bitcoin blockchain. That is 1 block every 10 minutes. And with every block on the Bitcoin blockchain, we are running a block race inside of mining race. And every 10 minutes, 1 core is being picked as a winner of the block race that gets $20 in Bitcoin every 10 minutes. So your core really has the chance to win $20 in Bitcoin every 10 minutes. But not only that, the week your core gets activated, it has a one-time chance to win the sprint race. That sprint race is being done every Wednesday, and 1 lucky core will get $20,000 in Bitcoin. That is really getting some competition and some action and some fun inside all of this Bitcoin mining, I can tell you. I can see the winners of these $20,000 every Wednesday, and I can tell you they are life-changed and happy. This is really, really special. But even if you don't win the sprint race, your block participates over 52,000 times in the 1 year it is active in the block race, and also mines with 1 terahash Bitcoin for you. So with a little higher hash price than right now, this core will have the chance to mine you back just from the 1 terahash what you paid for it, with getting the block race rewards, the sprint race rewards on top of that. And all of that just for $25. That's the most affordable entry price for Bitcoin mining that has never been seen in the whole planet. With this product, you can bring Bitcoin mining into every country of the world because everybody can just afford it. So the mining core really gives you mining and the core racing together. Really exciting product. But how do you start your journey now with mining race? You start your journey by getting yourself the spot license that is right for you. And there's a spot license for everyone. You get a spot license, and with that, you're unlocking the possibility to buy the mining products. You get access to the NYGqx promoter platform to promote the product if you want. You get access to grid bonuses, grid link rewards, which you can earn. You can have also the access to our education center, where you have free ebooks about Bitcoin inside of that in multiple languages. And as I said to you, there is a spot license for everyone. As you can see here, we're starting with the race license that is just $40. The race license is perfect for you if you took a look at the core and said, man, the core is really the product for me. So you get the race license, and there's a free core included. And now you can get on top of that as many cores as you want whenever you want. And this race license is only $40 per year. That's really, really the most affordable entry into the Bitcoin mining industry. But if you say, no, I also want a stable mining card or a mining machine, you get your hands on the starter license. The starter license has a slot for you for the mining machine and also 1 slot for you for a mining card, which you can buy yourself to the license. And there's a premium license with enough place for 9 mining machines, 9 mining cards, the platinum license for 30 of each, and the prime license, which is brand new and has a special offer for $1,500. You can get the Prime license, which has space for 50 machines, 50 cards, and unlimited cores. And in all of these licenses, a mining core is already included, meaning by the time you start your mining race journey, you're automatically participating in the next sprint race on Wednesday, which gives you the chance to win $20,000 in Bitcoin. So there's just one question left for me to ask you. Are you ready to mine? And if you are, the steps are very easy. You get yourself the Mining Race app from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, whatever phone you use. You set up your own digital wallet. You set up your account, which is very intuitive. You just click Create New Wallet. You will see a very easy steps. Choose a name, choose a password, the basics. Then you will get your seed phrase. Please write it down, store it securely, and write it down with pen and paper. Please don't do a screenshot of it. Don't save it digitally. That's security. You need to know. That's something you need to know about seed phrase security. And step 3, you just go into the shop and you shop the spot license and the products that are right for you. In this moment, the app will ask you for a referral link, for an invitation code, and you just put in the invitation code you have from the person that invited you here today. Okay, so the person who brought you to this call can give you the referral link. You can put the whole link inside of this field, or you can put the invitation code inside of this field. It doesn't matter, it will work. And now you can start your Bitcoin mining journey. And if you're now mining Bitcoin and you're happy with the results, you're welcome to join NYGqx for the best bonus plan of the industry. Several bonuses you can earn together with Mining Race and NYGqx. It's very interesting, very rewarding, and also a lot of fun. And as I said, starting this journey is as easy as 1, 2, 3 by following these steps. I hope you had a light bulb over your head during this presentation today. I hope you really opened your eyes for the potential of Bitcoin and really saw the potential of this partner you have on the journey of your journey with Bitcoin with Mining Race. Please talk to the person who invited you today to this call to really get more information and maybe if you need help for your registration with the Mining Race app. I see you next Sunday in the next opportunity call and on Wednesday in the business training with Damir Lizica. Until then, I wish you a nice evening. Goodbye.